I'm writing a paper on LeBron James for a class in English. Okay. First place when I go to do any kind of research paper, I always start off going to Google and then search the main part of my topic, which is LeBron James. So, of course, there's going to be all this current news about him, but for this paper, I'm going to focus on just his overall life, not anything really current, just mostly past stuff. So I need to look for credible sources, and of course, Wikipedia isn't going to be credible. Here's his own website, LeBronJames.com. We can go to that, but I want to always start off by looking for stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's going to have what I want. I always start off papers like this with, where he was born, when he was born, all that kind of stuff. So to make that easier on me, I'm going to type in LeBron James date of birth. And you see it shows right here. I just Googled that and it's showing to me on Google, so I don't even have to go to a website. And that should be very credible. But we can go to this website, biography.com, which I do use that a lot for papers that about people. And let's see. Okay, tells a little bit about him. Here we go. Born in Ohio in 1984. Top high school basketball player in the country. So that sounds pretty accurate to me. I would definitely use that in a paper. Um, I would actually use a lot more of this information on for my paper because it shows a lot about his high school and growing up. So, oops. Sorry, an ad played. It was kind of scared me. I turned the sound off. Anyways, let me go back to that website. Okay, so yeah, if I'm starting this paper on LeBron, I would start off, where he was born and his early life, which this website doesn't have really his early life, but it starts off in high school, which is not bad as a start. Could always look for other sources to show earlier than high school, but he did start off getting everybody's attention, media attention in high school. Then it shows his career with his first basketball team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. So this is a good source. I would definitely use this. Um, I would definitely write this source down as one of mine. Now I'd look for maybe go to Google again, and since I found the date of birth and it gave me more information, I want something a little bit earlier than high school. So I'm literally going to type in LeBron James early childhood onto Google, and we can look at this first website, but I don't know. I need to see if it looks credible. It shows some information about his mom, about his father, who was an ex-prisoner. Um, yeah, I don't really. It says his mom got him a toy hoop when he was younger, which he has said that in an interview before. So I know some of this stuff is credible in this website, but um, I mean, not really a lot. There's a little bit, but there's not really a lot about his early childhood. So if I couldn't really find information, like a lot of information on that, I would just put a little bit and then start working on his high school because he has a lot of high school information, a lot of NBA stuff that I could look up. So go ahead and type in LeBron James High School. Okay, we see where he went to high school. See pictures of it, clips, of course. And now we see the same website again that I was at earlier that was credible, but let's try to look for different sources because you don't need the same source or I don't want to have only one source for my whole paper. Of course, if we want a lot of information, we could go to click on add stats to the end of high school, see how he was, write about how good he was in high school. Um, this website we could look at and see. I don't go into a website saying this is going to be a good website. You always have to look before, and then This shows some of his information, just mostly talking about him. I don't see any fact. Okay, there's a stat sheet about his freshman season showing his stats and points and rebounds and whatnot. So we could use that. It shows he was on a magazine, Sports Illustrated. And then, yeah, that's about the author. So this is an alright source. You could use it if you want some facts about his high school career. But really, if you're writing a paper, you're going to focus mainly on the NBA. So now that we have, a little bit of his early life, a little bit of high school, we can look at his NBA, and then we can look at, NBA career. Of course, start off the beginning of his career, which was Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's see how this website looks. Yeah. Okay, this shows some of his like physical attributes. 6'8", 250. Shows when he was born again. Almost all these websites are showing when he was born. So if that's definitely a true fact if you already have it on every single other website. It shows when he was drafted. That's definitely good information to have. When he was drafted, first pick, 2003 NBA draft. That's something you definitely want to put in your paper. And then it shows every single season he's played, his age, what position he switched positions a few, how many games he played, everything. This shows a lot of stats. You would definitely want to have this, especially if you want to write a really factual paper and you want to compare his stats year to year and like see if he improved when he didn't improve and all that. So I would definitely use this as a very good source. It even goes even more advanced, showing decimal percentages of different things, where he shot the ball more than others. So it's definitely a really good source. This is definitely one I'd have. Even his nickname and his Twitter. All right. So now that we have the start of his NBA career, that website did show all his games and stuff, but now I can't just put all facts in there, so I need to have like some information, and for that I would just put I'm literally going to search LeBron James information and see what comes up first, but if not, I'm going to change that. Okay, we see that biography website a lot. Okay, this one has a little bit more information than, not information, but a little bit of different stuff than the previous website had. Um, it shows his MVP count, his championships, and like the other website, it does have a lot, the height, weight, and all that stuff, and what he did. This shows his awards, which the other website didn't do. The last website just showed all his stats and stuff from every game. This one's showing when he was MVP, when he was rookie. So definitely, and then you'd have to make sure you spread this out to the right part of your paper, because you don't want to put he was an MVP and then he won the championship when those weren't in the same season. You definitely want to make sure you put when he was an MVP, his stats when he was an MVP, and all that stuff. And then, okay, and I've watched LeBron James since I was a kid, and I know that he went to the Miami Heat after he left the Cavs. So I'm going to put LeBron James move to Miami. Whoops. Announces move to Miami. Search that up. And you can see the YouTube video. I called it The Decision. Let's go to this website. Announces move to Miami Heat. Okay, and you can see this is one of the biggest points of his career when he moved to the Heat, because he got a lot of hate for it. Because everybody thought he was leaving just to, be on a better team and stuff. And if you go down, it shows, read a little bit, try to skim this. He talks about what it was like, why he moved and stuff. And then you see it talks about different players too, so it's comparing what he did compared to what other players have done and why he's getting more hate than other players. Taking less money to play, that was a big part of it. And you scroll down a little bit, this is kind of same old, same old. Yeah, Okay, so this is definitely good information to have because of how big this was in his career. So you definitely want to put something about this. Now, this is about the midpoint of his career when he moves to Miami. He goes to Miami, and let's see how you want to see how he did in Miami compared to Cleveland. If he did better, if he did worse. So I'm gonna put my LeBron James. Let me cancel that out. LeBron James Miami stats versus Cleveland, because you want to see. I'm comparing the two to see if he did better when he left when he left Cleveland. And then this website, foxsports.com, shows a lot of. It even shows his current salary, but this is for him as of now. So if we scroll down, we can see 2010, 2011, the first year he was at Miami Heat. You can see the games, and he played there 4 seasons. So you can compare all that, and then you can compare previous years at Cleveland. He played a lot more at Cleveland, obviously, but you can still compare and see how he did, how he fared against, or when he was at Cleveland compared to Miami. And he also won 2 championships, it said on the website, in Miami. So in Cleveland, he hasn't won any yet. So then you can see now he's back in Cleveland, so you can see those 2 seasons. So after moving to Miami, and we saw his Miami stats, he moved back to Cleveland. So now I want to, of course, write about, from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland. See the announcement that he has? This was huge news a few summers ago. And now, funny thing is, everybody started liking him again when he goes back to Cleveland. So I guess he's got to stay in Cleveland. Whoops, let me log out of this. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. See if I can go back. I don't know what happened there. Okay. I'm going to go back again. Let's try this again. Actually, I'd rather use ESPN.com. It's definitely reliable. I'd rather use this website instead of the other one. The other one was probably reliable as Fox, but I like ESPN a lot. I always use that for any kind of sports, player, game, anything like that. Especially if I'm writing a paper and they have information on it, I definitely want to use that. So this is saying he's going back to Cleveland. Talking about why he did it. Of course, has to be a why. Shows what his ex-teammates thought about it and everything. Um, yeah, I'm not sure why people hated him when he left Miami, or when he left Cleveland to go to Miami, and then they don't hate him when even the Miami Heat fans don't hate him when he goes back to Miami, but whatever. Anyways, see, there's a lot of information I can put about what he thought, what his thought process was going into it, and what he plans on doing for the rest of his career. It shows some people's reactions on Twitter. Johnny Manziel here, um, Duke coach. So it shows a lot of LeBron's side and other people's side. So I like that. So then you can put in your paper, people thought this about LeBron James leaving Miami versus when he went to Miami, they thought this. So you can definitely compare and contrast the two, which I like to do. I definitely use this source as well because this is, again, I'd say he has 3 big points in his career, and this is definitely one of them. And you see, he even see the Miami Heat even put thanks for the memories to LeBron. So it was definitely seen very differently, him leaving Miami versus him joining Miami. So that's a lot of stuff you need to put and why they thought this way, which once you read all of this information and stuff for a paper, you'll definitely be able to find out why and what everybody's thought process was, what were at the time. And now I'm going to go ahead and search